Hello there, my name's Chris King, and today I'm going to cover the eCopy ShareScan Scan to OneDrive connector, which is part of the Cloud Pack. The Cloud Pack connector for eCopy ShareScan allows documents to be scanned directly from a multifunction or dedicated scanner into a number of cloud storage services using the eCopy ShareScan application. By using this connector, you can authenticate with your existing Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox account and allow users to select which folder to store the scan in. Just a quick note here that OneDrive was previously called SkyDrive, so you may know it as a different name. The ShareScan Cloud Pack connector consists of two components, the ShareScan connector and the token website. The cloud storage services all use the OAuth authentication system. This means that to access the cloud systems from anything other than a web browser, say on your desktop, the user needs to authorize the application and retrieve a token. The user can do this using a Cloud Pack token website. The token is then used by the application, in our case ShareScan, to authorize the user with the cloud service. There are three ways in which we can get a token from the website. The user is either given a token website address and logs in using their Windows credentials, and that's how we're going to demonstrate the workflow shortly. The user sent an email from the token website or ShareScan connector with a link to the website which will authenticate them using their email address. Or lastly, the user can try logging into the connector without a token, and the connector will email the user instructions and a link to the website. There are multiple ways in which to deploy and configure the Cloud Pack to use a token server depending upon the customer preferences. You can see the options here on the screenshot. There is a blue link, Help Me Decide. If you do push that link, you'll see a web page with much more detail on why you would choose each of the individual options, but I'll cover them at a high level right now. You could choose a company-hosted token server. This is the way in which my demonstration has been configured. You select this option if you've installed the accompanying Cloud Pack token website locally within your organization. You could choose the Paper River cloud-hosted token server, and you would select this option if you've registered to use the Paper River Cloud Token website to host your user tokens. You could select Trial. You would select this option if you've registered for a trial using a Paper River Cloud Token website. And lastly, you could opt to Configure Later, and you would select that option if you want to use the connector in offline demo mode or plan to configure the server settings later. The connector has a full offline demo mode with demonstration data, so you can demonstrate the scan to cloud connectors without being connected to the internet. We'll just cover quickly the authorization screen. We will see this during the demo, but depending on how the administrator set up the options, you'll be presented with one or more options from OneDrive, Dropbox, and Google Drive. You see those options on the screen there. If the administrator has disabled access to a service, it will be grayed out. In this case, on the right-hand side, you see that the service for OneDrive has been disabled by the administrator. If a service says no authorization stored beneath it, this means you haven't yet authorized the service to use the Cloud Pack connector. You can see that in red on the screenshot, and in fact, we'll see this during the demonstration. So let's move on to a demonstration of Scan to OneDrive. I'm just going to switch out now. I have a virtual machine running here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to switch to the simulator. For those of you that aren't aware, ShareScan has a fully fledged simulator right within the administration console here. It can be accessed by pushing the simulator button. There are two different types of simulator. There's a web-based simulator and a scan station simulator. You can switch between those. I'm using the scan station simulator in case you recognize that mine might look different to yours. So I've got three buttons: scan to Google Drive, scan to Dropbox, and scan to OneDrive. In this demonstration, we're going to scan to OneDrive. First of all, I'm just going to perform a scan. And what we'll do is we'll just move on to the authentication screen, and I'm going to type in my user credentials. So I'll type in administrator, and I already have a PIN code set up, but I haven't got a token to authorize me for scan to OneDrive. And you see ShareScan says straight away it doesn't have a token found for the user administrator, and it's prompting me to go and get a token. So I'll just click the home button and I'll move away. So what I'll do is I'll just switch out now to the token website. So I've got that URL, and I'm just going to put in my credentials. These are my domain credentials here that I'm typing in, and it's going to log me in. And quite rightly, we see there OneDrive no authorization token is stored. So if I want to get a token, I can just scroll down and I will actually click there and go through the OneDrive authorization. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what you would see. I've got a PIN ID set up. I'm going to log off, and actually I'm just going to log on as a user that doesn't have a PIN set up. So I have a user called OneDrive user here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to authenticate, and we'll log in. So you can see now that I don't have currently have a PIN set up, and I'm actually going to set a PIN for my OneDrive user, and there we see that OneDrive user doesn't have any tokens associated with their account. So I just wanted to show you that it's really easy to set up a PIN. So I'm just going to log back in as the administrator. And I'll use again my Windows credentials. And I'll say OK. So I'm going to go through the OneDrive authorization. So as you saw before, I'm just going to click on this link, click here to give OneDrive authorization. It's going to go off to OneDrive, and it wants me to type in my credentials. And I'll type in my password here. And I'll sign in. And this is how OAuth works. So basically Microsoft is going to say, do you want this app to access all of these things? You're going to say yes. And now you can see that I've got my authorization token stored. So let's switch back to the simulator. And we're going to attempt to scan to OneDrive again using the same credentials for the administrator with the same PIN. So I'm going to type in administrator, and I'm going to type my PIN, and I'm going to log in. So now we see that I've got a bunch of destinations, and hopefully if I click on documents, I can see I've got a ShareScan demo. What I'll quickly do is if I just go out to my OneDrive site. So under my ShareScan demo, I've got 3 folders: brochures, scans, and technical documents. They've all got no documents in there at the minute. So we're going to go ShareScan demo, and we'll pop a document into scans, and we'll just hit send. And basically we're just going to send a document from eCopy ShareScan using the CloudPack connector for OneDrive directly to my OneDrive account using my domain name. In this case it's administrator, but the PIN number I set up during the configuration on the token website. So if I switch back out now and I just do a refresh, hopefully I should see, there we go, we've got one document in scans, and we can see the document is in OneDrive, and we can see it's a PDF, and there it is. So that basically concludes the scan to OneDrive demonstration. Thank you for joining. If you would like any more information, please don't hesitate to reach out to your Nuance technical consultant or your regional sales manager. Thank you.